The bullybear channel where there's only fun decoding and no financial advice. We back. We back. See if I got these pictures on here. Interesting. I can't find. Can't seem to find these pictures I took. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm trying to look for this picture that I took, so I wanted to speak about it. I don't know. I lost it. I think they blacked it out. See, we got a few people in here. Got a few people in here. Yeah, I don't have that picture I wanted to talk about. But anyway, let's put up image. Show me images of Popeye. Let's speak about it. God damn it, man. Alright, whatever. So this came up on the TV. I was watching the news the other day, and they were talking about like some cartoons that kind of lost, I guess, their entitlement. Not entitlement, but basically these cartoons could be played again without having any permission or whatever. But when I was looking at this particular cartoon, right, I noticed something really big. We have Anchor, right? We got the Anchor wallet on here. As we know, Popeye is very strong, okay? And who knows if this Anchor wallet is as strong as Popeye. All right? But this was another thing that I was looking at. And I was looking at this for the spin, right? Because they talk about the spin wheel, Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, which they spin, right? As we know, there's a migration going on, right? And the migration is supposedly the A chain. The A chain is supposedly the migration of where XPR is going to meet up with Metal. All right? Somebody's jealous on here telling me to get a job. Somebody's jealous over here. All right, let's get rid of these fucking idiots. That's it. That's it. That's it. Trev, you jealous, bro. You jealous. Mr. Trev is jealous. But anyway, let's just get back to this over here. Anchor wallet, right? And I told you, people will be shocked and surprised, and their eyes might pop out, okay? Popeye, all right? There he is with the one eye. Pop eye. Your eyes will pop once you see the price. There's your A chain. Take a spin on the A chain. Is it going to be a powerful thing? Is Anchor going to be something to hold on to? All right. What do you guys think? Look at, see, these are the deadbeats that come on here. They waste their times. Nobody cares what you got to say, Mr. Trevor. Nobody cares what you got to say. But anyway, I don't give two shits who wants to watch. But there you go. There's your Popeye. He's a strong guy, okay? You got to know who's who. Look at all the deadbeats coming in. Don't worry about my phone. Nobody cares what you got to ask, my man. Nobody cares. When you're talking bullshit, nobody's going to pay attention to you, my man. Nobody cares what you got to say. So let's go. Let's go. Who wants to talk about it? Who thinks they're a god? Or who thinks they're not a god? And then I'm going to play you some clips that are pretty interesting. Good morning. Good morning. Don't worry about it, Trev. You know what it's about? It's about wasting your time, Trev. It's about wasting your time. Glad you're here. With Jeremy. Glad you're here. We're here to waste your motherfucking time. This is their jobs. You understand? We got trolls that come out. Got nothing better to do, nothing to add, no type of knowledge, no type of skills. Don't worry about them. So who's here to say? Who's here to stay? You know what? Let's do these guys a favor. Give me a second. We're gonna do these guys a favor here. Let's go. There we go. Let's clean up. Let's clean this shit up over here for a second. That's it. Don't worry what I seen. Don't worry what I seen. You know what? Let's do Trevor a favor too. Let's get rid of Trev. Obviously, he doesn't. Okay. You were trying to clown first, Trev. You were trying to clown first. So don't worry about it. Let's clean this up. I gotta make some room for the people that want to be here. You know, you want to call people dumbasses on my channel, we gotta remove the garbage. And that's it. Anyway, we're getting back to so from what I understand, we're doing a shift. We're going from 3D to 5D. Okay? Well, those guys won't be here anymore. Trev and the other guy, they took a walk. So, anyway, even if I'm wrong, I just wanted to get this out there. Okay? Better to get this out there and say that I'm wrong than not to share this information. Now, I keep hearing that the world is going to be on a crazy shift. We're moving from a 3D to a 5D, right? 3 dimension to 5 dimension. And they're claiming that if you don't truly know who you are or what you are, that you're going to be too dense or too heavy with nonsense information to carry yourself to the 5th dimension. Now, these are not my words, and these are not my thoughts. This is what I was reading, and now I'm sharing with you guys. That being said, I believe that they're kind of hinting that if you believe that there's somebody outside of you and that's who you're praying to, they're believing that, that's just too dense for you to level up. But if you understand who you are and they believe that you are a God, and you understand that, why these particular things here are called your temples, right? Because the temples are in heaven, and this is your head, and this is the heaven of you, because you're everything. Now, I'm just learning this. I'm not spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm not any of this stuff. I'm just a person with a critical mind that likes to think outside of the box. Now, there was a woman here, and I'm going to play this. I wish this guy, what was his name? Was it Dom or Jimmy? I think it was Jimmy. I hope Jimmy pops up on the live, because he had some pretty good points that he wanted to point out, that he was a believer in God or whatnot. But I wanted to share this information with him. Hopefully he pops up. But let me get back to what I wanted to share with you so you can hear this out. Because this lady that I'm going to play right now, she says the Bible literally tells us that we are the gods. We have the powers within. Was it Jimmy Carter? I think. No. Jimmy Carter was the president. I think the other guy name was Jimmy that we were speaking to last time, that he was, in God, and he was telling me to be careful how I was speaking. And again, I was not trying to say that I was correct. I was asking questions. I just had a lot of questions to be asked. Let me get this lady that was just talking, and I recorded her. You can listen to what she says here.
You said that Jesus is Satan. In the Bible, we're told that Satan deceives the entire world. Some people mistakenly believe that the greatest deception that Satan could bestow.
Okay. You might have to slow this down because I had to speed it up so I can get all the information on my phone, because again, I don't have that much space on here. So you're going to have to listen to it, and then if you want, you're going to have to slow it down and re-listen to this again. You're right. So that's one of the other things that she states also, that God states that he made us in his own image. It's in the word. It's in there. Yes, what you heard. Well, you heard this and you heard that. I hear this and I hear that about XRP, and price is still where it's at. So I don't really even get excited anymore with news and shit like that. The only time I'm going to get excited is when we see the price move. And I will say this. I was sitting down thinking. Now, Marshall Hayner had made a really bold statement, and he said that 23 takes the cake. Now, I don't know if it's 23 years from one point, but somebody sent me a message on on X.com, and they were saying 2030. And I know in 23, I was all on here like, oh, it definitely has to happen, blah, blah, blah. If you watch my videos, it seems like every year I'm always like, it has to happen this year, it has to happen this year. But I think with him stating 23 takes the cake, I'm thinking that he's stating that 2030 is going to take the cake. And we're going to have to maybe wait another 5 years for the full package to load in. Meaning like getting everybody into the crypto space probably will be in the year 2030. Now, not saying I'm correct. I'm just trying to add things together, because obviously him stating 23 takes the cake, it wasn't 2023. So we know that obviously, nothing happened there. So what could 23 be? Then I pointed it kind of to the Wizard of Oz, because, Dorothy, she mentions about 23 years or something like that. And I was thinking maybe something within that thing. But after sitting there a long time and thinking, once they start getting these banks wild up and ready to roll in, it's going to be this year. Supposedly this year is when the banks is going to get the green lights so they can deal with crypto. If you sit there and you really think about it, it might probably take another 5 years to roll everybody in here. And maybe within a 5-year mark in 2030, I'm thinking that's hopefully when they'll merge the private ledger and the public ledger. Now, I don't know if they will do that or whatnot. I just noticed that there's glitches out here. And I don't know if those glitches are showing us private and public being together, and that's where the price will be. I don't know if those glitches are doing that. But there are two separate blockchains, private and public. Okay? Now, I don't know this. Maybe you guys can help me out or answer me, but I don't think that you're going to get the same price if there's a private and a public, unless they merge together. That's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong, and hopefully somebody can correct me on here. But if that's the case, and the public has its own price, and the private has its own price on the same coin, then that could be a strong possibility that that 2030 will be the year that we fully see crypto integrated in all systems. AI, crypto, everything, all in one. That's just what I see, because like I said, coming from the CEO's mouth, he's saying 23 takes the cake. Nothing happened in 2023. So 23 could be 2030. Now, I'm hoping that this year something has to happen. Price action. I mean, we have the banks coming in. There has to be something great where these prices are going to shift. Maybe not life-changing, maybe not retirement prices, but enough to finally be like, it feels good now holding on to these particular things. So, just wanted to get that out there while it was on my mind, because I'm always jumping from here to there. And I'll read some of these comments and see what's up. XRP MasterCard launch, we'll see. Maybe another 5 years, yeah. Could also be February 3rd. Could be February 3rd, 2025 too. Now, the same person that said 23 takes the cake is the same person that stated that 2025 is going to be an eye-opener for crypto. It's going most likely be much greater than 2017 and 2012. Well, supposedly. There's Jimmy. There's Jimmy. Welcome, Jimmy. Welcome. So, I just wanted to get that out there. You know, hopefully, yeah, it is 23. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. But if, you know, the public and the private is not connected, and if that is a thing, and we would have to wait for both of those blockchains to be merged to fully get the true price, then maybe 2030 is a more realistic thing. Could be. But I hope that I hope the one is right. I hope it is the 23rd. Hope it's February 3rd. You know, February 3rd could be a good date now that you say that, because that is the 311, and we've been having these 311s. Today is a full moon. Full moon. Wolf moon. Full moon. So 2-3 becomes 311 again, because the 2 becomes 11, and then you get your 3. So that could be your 311 also. So that's a nice point out there, the one. Maybe, I mean, hopefully, because I don't want to fucking wait until 2030. That's for damn sure. And if I got to wait till 2030 before I retire, it's not going to be good for me, because 26, we're going on strike, and it don't look good. AI is coming in strong. What's with these? The B system is about to roll out. Well, I hope so. It better roll out this year then, because we would love to see some prices. We'd love to see some prices. Dave Schwartz addressed this. He said, you can't have two different prices. Oh, you said you can't have two different prices? Then if you can't have two different prices, then that bullshit stating that these banks or a Bank of America or whatever is using XRP, then I guess that's bullshit, because this price hasn't really jumped like that then. You know? if what David Schwartz saying is true, that you can't have two different prices, then when you hear news about, oh, this bank is using XRP now, or this bank is using, no, it's fucking not. Then either he's lying and there's two different prices, because obviously, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is why I'm asking on here. I'm not technical like that when it comes to fucking blockchains and shit. So I could be making a fool out of myself, but again, nothing's really foolish if you're asking questions. Well, I hope that is true. I hope that there aren't two separate ones and we do get the price, and then that means that we'll wake up one day and the price will be fucking just blown up overnight, where our eyes will pop out like Popeye. So they need this now. What's up, Jimmy? We're gonna speak a little bit. I got some clips and stuff like that. Now I'm gonna ask you, let me read these first and then I'll talk to you, Jimmy. Same here. All right. Well, not that they're using it, that they plan on using it when it goes live. Okay. The blockchain system isn't live yet for bank settlements. Okay.
World would be making people believe.
All right. Now we got this out the way. I'm gonna make this a short video. Now, Jimmy, I want to ask you, because I was just listening. I heard this a couple of times already. They're saying how there's a big shift happening in the world, that we're going from 3D to 5D. Okay, 5-dimension, 3-dimension, 5-dimension. And not me, I'm just saying from what I read, they're basically stating that if you don't know who you are or where you're from, you're going to be too dense to go from 3D to 5D. That means to elevate or move up. Okay. Again, I'm just speaking. I'm just saying what I was reading. So they basically said, if you don't believe that you are a god, then most likely you might not elevate to the 5-dimension. I'm not saying this is true or not. This is what I was reading. And basically people that believe that there is a higher source outside of their body, outside of them, most likely they're going to be too dense to elevate to the 5 dimensions. Now, I want you to listen to this particular female here. Like I said, you might have to slow it down. I can't slow it down here, but listen carefully and closely what she has to say.
You keep asking me, what do you mean when you say that Jesus is Satan? In the Bible, we're told that Satan deceives the entire world. Some people mistakenly believe that the gravest deception that Satan could bestow upon the world would be making people believe that Satan or evil doesn't exist. However, the real deception is in the fact that Satan has deceived the world into believing that Satan is God. Most religious people of the Abrahamic faith will have no problem admitting to you that Satan has dominion in the...
She's going to be pulling out Bible verses and actually showing you Bible verses and speaking. So let me flip it so you can see what's being shown here, so you can get a better understanding.
Yet and still they refuse to accept the fact that that would mean that he has reign, dominion, power in the earth, meaning he is God in the earth. And again, this is further substantiated by the fact that in the book of Enoch, we learn that the fallen angels fall from heaven to earth and are bound in earth, where they will reign for 70 generations. That means we are talking about two completely different group of angels. We have the group of fallen angels, also called the Watchers, who are led by Simjaza and include God real, from where we get the word God. With the knowledge of gematria, you're able to piece together the fact that these 200 Watchers are the 2/3 angels, because God real is referred to as the third. 200 is really just 2. 2 over 3 is 0.66 or 66%. We also learn that God real is the angel that specifically deceives Eve in the garden, not Lucifer. Lucifer is referred to as the son of the morning. Jesus is referred to as the bright and morning star. They are the same thing, which is made clear not only through the word and the symbolism, but also through the fact that Satan has access to heaven all the way through Revelation up until the point of Armageddon, which is again substantiated by the fact that we read Satan going up and down heaven in Job. All of them are bad. There is no good and evil. They're on the same side. Have you ever read a story in the Bible where God, the all-powerful, almighty, just destroys Satan? No. Think Harry Potter and Voldemort. They're connected to each other. If one dies, the other dies. Need I remind you that the religious text literally tells you that the God in you is greater than the God of this world? It literally tells you that the kingdom of heaven is in you. It literally tells you that you are the temple, and that the true God, which is in you, does not live in anything man-made, including the temple, the book, the engraven name, and the engraven image, which, by the way, don't exist until 1611, which, by the way, is conveniently when the Negroes landed in America from Africa. The book literally tells you that you are going to do greater works than Christ. It literally tells you you are a God. So if you can recognize that Satan has dominion in the earth, why can't you recognize that you are worshiping the devil? You, that's what it says. Ye are gods. That's what it says. Christ is in you. That's what it says. Christ is not a man. Christ is a consciousness. However, we are God's made flesh. Yes, it is true. Our bodies are temples, but they exist within the material world. Meaning, our bodies are homes to the eternal soul, which can never die because it is God. But the body, being made of the material world, cannot ascend to divine consciousness because the body is not a consciousness. Therefore, the body is not the mind. Thus, the body is not God. Even still, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. So when you die, your body will go into the dirt and it will transform into something else that will exist within this plane or planet. So it will do one or two things. It will ascend out of this plane or planet, explore the cosmos or the universe at God consciousness level, being one with God, never to return to this earthly plane again, or it will reincarnate and descend back to this three-dimensional plane, which we call Earth or Saturn, because the soul failed to do the inner work to ascend to the God within. Let me show you. John 14:12 in the oldest English Bible says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he that believeth in me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater." You keep asking me, what do you mean when you say that Jesus is Satan? In the Bible, we are told that Satan deceives the entire world. Some people mistakenly believe that the gravest deception that thus the cosmos or the universe at God consciousness level, being one with God, never to return to this earthly plane again, or will reincarnate and descend back to this three-dimensional plane, which we call Earth or Saturn, because the soul failed to do the inner work to ascend to the God within. Let me show you. John 14:12 in the oldest English Bible says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he that believeth in me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater than these shall he do, because I go to the Father." Well, let's break that down. He that believeth in me is he that...
Now, I find that pretty interesting, how she breaks that down. And weirdly enough, I was just talking about how, like, God and the devil is one and all this other stuff, and here I come across these videos now all of a sudden. I guess the algorithm picked it up. Now, did you people listen to that? I'm curious, what do you think about that clip I just showed you? And I'm not going to say anything until I see some answers over here. Well, Jimmy, I mean, I was kind of waiting for you, and I thought that would be an interesting clip to play for you. Now that you hear that, just curious to see how you feel about what she states. Because I was basically saying how, like, we are everything, supposedly. We are the universe. Universal. The word universal, right? It means everything in the universe, right? The whole entire solar system. Universe. Universal. Versal is vessel, okay? And the vessel is your body. So versal is the vessel. Then we have universal. So the uni part is you in the vessel, the universal, okay? Universal really means you are everything, in my opinion, okay? Like I said, universal. It's you in the vessel. Universal. You are everything and everything is you. And when you understand that, that means that if everything is you, then that means that you are God as well. Yeah, of course there's good and evil. So you believe that God hasn't destroyed... I mean, how long is he's going to let Satan run around? And look how much evil is going on at the moment. Look how much genocides and killing in Israel and Ukraine and Iran and the Middle East and all this other shit and the Gaza Strip. Come on. In the Gaza Strip, where the story supposedly began. Israel, where, these higher ups were from. How are they letting this stuff happen then? Of course it's going to get worse, but the point is then, if God is really the Almighty, then why isn't he not stopping it? And there's people that will state God doesn't help you unless you pray. When you pray, then he helps. To me, that sounds like once you start worshiping me, then I'm going to help you. If you don't worship me, I'm not going to help you. Just saying how it sounds, not saying I believe certain things. And I'm probably gonna fucking lose a bunch of viewers, but I don't really care. I don't make no money on these damn channels, so I don't give a shit who comes or who goes. You want to come and have a cool conversation, I'm always here to learn. I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm just passionate about a lot of stuff and just like to share a lot of shit. Good and evil needs to coexist. Well, yes, when you watch those cartoons and those movies and shit like that, don't you see the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder? They're on your shoulders because they're part of you. They're part of you. Let's see what Jimmy's saying. Search the scriptures. Not one thing God said hasn't come to pass. Well, let me ask you, Jimmy. If this is, let me see. Let me read these before I answer. So listen, in the Old Testament, God destroyed a lot of evil societies and people now pointed to it and say, look how bad God is. But then when he relents, we also blame God. Well, didn't God flood out, right? Didn't God actually fucking create the floods, and that's how the Noah story came, right? Wasn't like Noah the only person that was like listening to God, and he's like, okay, yeah, you're cool, you're gonna come with me, and you're gonna save everybody else since you are following what I'm telling you. So didn't he drown all the people? So if he drowned those people, why didn't he drown motherfucking the devil? How come he didn't drown the devil then? He drowned all those other people. But the most powerful person, the devil, that we're all supposed to be scared of, Lucifer, he didn't flood him out. Remember, they were in the heavens, and he casted Lucifer from the heavens to earth, where we live. We live on earth, okay? The Bible never states that Lucifer was casted to hell. He was casted to earth, and this is where we are now. In Hinduism, it says, we say until the evil things reaches its peak, then God will come and put an end to it. Well, who's the one that is rating how evil these events are? Who's sitting at the throne today and saying, this event right here, this Israel event, this Gaza shit, this I'm giving it a 5.6, a 5.5. It's not making the cut today to be totally destroyed. Who's sitting on the top of the throne and giving these events a score to say, well, this got a 10, so I think this should get the attention that's needed? Who is deciding these things? Who's deciding that, how much more devastation, how much more killings do we need to see before it's not good anymore? Is my point. He gave us free will, bro. He doesn't intervene on everything, and we don't know why. I'm not going to try to understand the why when it comes to an infinite God. Yes, he flooded out physical beings on earth, not the spiritual realms. But he is the Almighty. Isn't God the Almighty, Jimmy? The most powerfulest one? And if that's the case, how come he can't get rid of the devil? The most beautifulest angel that was up there. God decided to call him the devil. And why hasn't he taken him out yet? Now, let me say a couple of other things that I noticed, okay? And before anybody says something stupid, I'm going to tell you two things. I'm going to answer that stupid question, and then you're going to get blocked. I'm not going to read. I read enough. And the Bible, see, there's some people that want to say that God is still there, but if you really read the Bible tells you that you are going to do greater things than God himself. But there's people that are very religious that will believe that, no, you can't do greater things than God. God is the only one who could do the greater things. But the Bible, see, I don't understand this. Like, some people would only recognize something in the Bibles, but then they don't want to recognize the other things in the Bibles. So, again, when the Bible's telling you that you're everything and God is within you, why don't you believe that you're God if the Bible is literally telling you that you are the God? No. It's like, if you feel like the God is outside of your body, then that means that you have to rely on something. Okay? See, there's the difference. When you're talking about the God outside of you, that means you have to believe now. And you know what believe means? Believe means that you don't know. That's why you have to believe in it. Just like Santa Claus. If you don't believe in Santa, we know Santa Claus is fucking fake. Right? But if you don't believe in Santa Claus, you ain't gonna get presents. So, you only believe in stuff if you don't know. But if you know that you are a God, you no longer have to believe in anything. Okay? That might be the trick, that they have you believing shit that is not true. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying one of the most trickiest things out here is trying to make us believe shit that's not true. Okay? Just like paying the TAX. That's voluntary. There is no law stating that you have to do it. But once you open your mouth, you tie yourself to verbal aspects of contracts. In our religion, we also say we are part of God. Well, again, in all religions, they're going to have you believing that there's somebody outside of you more powerful than you. All right? And again, I was just reading that if you don't understand who you are, you're not going to elevate to the fifth dimension. Okay? And this is the only reason why I'm bringing up this conversation and why I'm pointing these things out. Okay? Now, I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm just sharing things with you on here. Like I said, the Bible's literally pointing things out, literally telling you that you are the one. Okay? Yes, there's other aspects in there that's saying, you know, this and that and Jesus and blah, blah, blah. But they tell you that you're the one. The temple's within you. Heaven is within you. Okay? Once you understand the universal thing that I was trying to speak about, then you understand that you are everything. Okay? You are everything. Meaning you are God. Okay? And everything is you. So God is you as well. Now, they try to say that the serpent was bad, and in the Adam and Eve story, the serpent was the one that gave Adam and Eve the persuasion to eat the apple. And when he did that, they gave them knowledge, okay? So was the serpent that bad? The serpent gave Adam and Eve knowledge, okay? Knowledge is great. Wouldn't you want your children to have knowledge? But then you had God who got pissed off that Adam and Eve gained this knowledge. So it was almost like he couldn't, like the news, I can't tell you anymore what to believe because you know already. You understand that? People will sit here and tell you things to believe because these things can be proven to be true. Once they're proven to be true, it's no longer a belief, it's a no. In my opinion, all right, so let me say a hypothetical story. What I'll just name some possibilities. Can it be true? Maybe. Yes. Can it not be true? Of course it can't be true. Now, listen to me, Jimmy. Let's say the Matrix, the movie The Matrix, is somewhat real, giving us some type of real information, and we are in this crazy simulation, okay? Let's just say we are. then can it possibly be that whoever's creating these programs, right, they know how the program is going to run? The Christian program, the Catholic program, the Muslim program, whatever that program is, they're going to know how the program's going to go. So just like the movies, they write books, right? Usually they write books and then they make a movie. So could it be possible that we are running on a certain programs and that somebody knows what the program is going to be and they can write a book along and break down exactly how their program is going to run? These coming up years, we're going to see this, and these up years, we're going to come and see that. Now, how many people touch the Bible? How many times has that Bible been rewritten? Okay? So that Bible becomes history. And the word history, when you break down the word history, it's his story. His story. They didn't even have papers and pens back when Jesus was probably there back then. Who even knew how to write? But I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just pointing out scenarios. Okay? It could be possible that they wrote a book to the same events that's going to happen through the program. So now when the program plays out and you're in this program and you believe in the word of God and you follow the Bible, and then you're like, oh shit, this is what the Bible said. The Bible says that, during these times, this is going to happen, the rapture, whatever else it states, the program is playing out. And then it makes you a stronger believer because now, again, you don't believe anything. So now when you're reading these things, you're like, oh man, look at this higher source had said this event and that event is going to happen. Oh shit, look at it's happening now. Wow. It's really happening. And that will really make you more of a believer. Okay? When you're trying to believe something and then you see how the story is playing out, like you read a book, and now the book is playing out the story right in front of you. That is what I think most likely is happening. Okay? Because that is one good question. If he was able to flat out everything else, he's the Almighty. So nothing else can stop him if he's the Almighty. He is the creator. So if you're the creator, you could be the destroyer. Okay? And if God was that pissed off with Lucifer up there, why didn't he destroy him when he was in the physical right there in front of him? No, he casted him to earth. Okay? To keep him away. So that's another thing that kind of is like, then why even create such a being if he was that bad, the devil and this and that and the third? I just have questions. Let's see what you wrote. Well, even if that's the case, then the Bible is still true. Just know that Jesus warned more about hell than he spoke about heaven. But Jesus didn't cast Lucifer to hell. He casted him to earth. So and they'll say hell. Now, referencing back to yourself, right? This is why they say that this is your temples. These are temples, right? Why would they call these temples? Why? Nothing in our body is related to this shit over here in the side of our temples. But they'll say heaven's in the temples, right? So your head, right? Your heaven, you are the God. This is your heaven. You are heaven. These are your temples, okay? This is why the temples are in heaven. And your feet is called the heel, the bottom of your feet. The bottom is hell. The top is heaven. The bottom is hell. That's what I think. And I'm starting to believe, because I don't truly know yet, but I'm starting to believe that we are everything. That you watching me, you are a God, you are a very powerful spiritual person, and so am I. But we were never taught to tap into these abilities. Okay? Let me read some of these here. Bully bear, think about this. Assuming God is real, don't you think it's a little foolish for the creation to try to think they know better than the Creator? Well, did you fully read the Bible? Because the Bible literally says that us, that who he created, will do more powerful stuff than him. So if I'm reading the Bible is literally telling me that I'm going to do more than the Creator. So does that sound foolish then? Did you fully read the Bible, Jimmy? Like every page? Are you like a Bible person that knows, like, verses and all that shit? I mean, you don't have to be, Just curious if you are. Right? Let me see if she even posts it out there. Let me see. Then we can go to the verse. So in John, okay. So do you know John 14:12? Okay. Can you explain to me then John 14:12 in your eyes and, like, I guess what you see? I'm just trying to learn here. Just trying to see what you see. This might be a learning day for me here. Well, as you look for the verse, I don't know, I thought maybe you knew it off the top of your head, but I'm going to read this verse to you. Well, to everybody here. John 14:12 literally says, "Truly, truly, I say to you," says, "I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do." So it's literally here saying that you're going to do greater work than God himself. That's what you're saying. He's talking about blessings. He will leave us through the power of the Holy Spirit. He left for us when he ascended to heaven. Okay. Okay. So Jimmy is a true hardcore believer that the higher power is not within him, is out of him. And that's all good. I just see it in a different way. Like I said, if the devil was that bad and all this other stuff was going on, then why wouldn't he kill him? And that's because if they're the same person, then that's a strong reason why God can't kill the devil, because the devil is God and God is the devil. Okay? The devil is God in the lowest form, and God is the devil in the lowest form. Okay? She makes a reference of Harry Potter in there. Why Harry Potter can't kill that other fucking dude in there? It's because they're the same person. All right? Now, weirdly enough, reptiles, let me see if I can pull this up. Are reptiles intelligent beings? So here it states, reptiles are very intelligent, problem solvers. Reptiles can solve problems and learn new strategies. For example, red-footed tortoise, blah, blah, blah. Social cues. Reptiles can follow social cues and remember rewarding forage patches. For example, lizards can also birds' movements to find fig trees, blah, blah, blah. So here they're stating that the reptile is super intelligent. Okay? Now here you have the reptile, right? The snake that comes to Adam and Eve and makes Adam and Eve, whatever, eat the apple to gain the knowledge. Okay? And here comes God, pissed off, right? When God comes back, He's looking for Adam and Eve, and Adam and Eve are hiding because now they have knowledge that they're naked, and now they're embarrassed. Okay, and God finds out. He's like, "Oh, how do you know that you're naked? Oh, now you got now." He got so pissed off that they had knowledge that he started like wishing them like fucking bad shit. Like, oh, you're gonna be on your bellies, and you're gonna be squirming on your bellies, and you're gonna work here and there. So, to that point, they also call Lucifer the light bearer. Okay, what is the light? The light is, when you're in the darkness, they'll tell you find the light. It's supposed to be a good point. Okay, enlightenment. Okay, when the light, you have enlightenment. Enlightenment is knowledge. Okay. Now, these powers that be don't usually let us do things freely out here. And just finding it weird enough also how everybody loves Christmas, and Christmas is very strongly connected to Satan. Okay, if you follow the story with Satan, I mean, look at Satan is red, right? Santa's red. Satan is dealing with fires. Santa, fireplace, deals with fires and shit like that. All right, you even have that like religious type of symbology with Santa Claus, because you leave milk and cookies. What is the cookie? The cookie is like the wafer that you have at church. The milk is like the wine that you drink, the flesh and the blood. All right, and if you see the word Satan, if you mix those words around with the same lettering, you get Santa and Satan. But weirdly enough, you see all the religious people heavily into Christmas. And Jesus wasn't even born. Nowhere in the Bible it states that he was born on Christmas. But for whatever reason, they're all out here. They even have Christmas Mass, midnight Mass. But, just weird. They're always trying to trick us. Let's see. What if God was upset because when Adam and Eve did that, it opened up all the suffering of the world, which is indeed what happened? Well, how did that happen? Why would them eating that and gaining knowledge open up the suffering of the world? Unless you're dumbed down. When you're dumbed down and you don't know any better, right? You're easier to control. Okay? What if, how about this, Jimmy? What if, I'm not saying I'm correct, but what if everything is the opposite of what we were told? Okay? Maybe God was mad because now he figured out that he can't fool these people anymore. They have knowledge of shit now. And because they have knowledge, they don't no longer have to believe into the spirit. Because they know what is going on. They know what feels right and wrong. Okay? They don't need to be told by somebody how to feel, because they can feel for themselves now. Okay? Why would God get so pissed off on that? And if God is the Almighty, then why couldn't he switch things up right then and there? Huh, Jimmy? God is the Almighty, right? As soon as they ate that apple, why didn't God reverse what was to come? He is the Almighty. You can't sit here now and say that he's able to create all these things, wonderful things, but he can't do something simple like that to stop evil. I mean, I just have a hard time. If it was free will, then Jimmy, then why did he fucking wish Adam and Eve to be fucking like snakes and forever in their lives to be crawling on their bellies and working and slaving? Well, if you're giving people free will, then you can't get pissed off at what they do. Right? So if you're giving people free will, then you're getting pissed off at them because they're not doing what you want them to do? Is that free will? Well, that, yes, I agree with you there. Because at the end of all this craziness, regardless if you believe, whoever you believe is the higher up, you have to do all this with love, with pure love. And I think that's the main goal of this particular thing. Oh, got 15%, so I'm going to have to cut this video short. You know? I love all things too, you know? But I think at the end of the day, we have to just move with pure love. And if you move with pure love, I don't think it matters what you believe in, really. Okay? As long as you're not harming people, harming animals, and moving in true love with no hate, I think that's how you're going to elevate. You know? Even regardless if you really believe that, you know, that there's a God above you who is over you, or you are the God above everybody else. You know, whatever that may believe. As long as you're moving within love and you're acting in love and stuff like that, I truly think that, you know, you'll be able to ascend to where you need to ascend, or where every other beautiful person is, with love in their heart. You know? But it was a very, very interesting read and stuff like that. And like I said, they literally kind of tell you that, you know, you are the God is within you, you know, in these Bibles. So, I mean, I find these particular interesting. I mean, you can sit here, I mean, you can have a choice, like you said. You have to have free will to have true love. Did you see that? I guess I'll have to think about that. Could be right. And I just lost what I wanted to say. But I mean, like I said, there's two points. Like you said, you can have a choice. You can either be stuck in a believing factor, but like I said, believing is not knowing. Okay, believing is, you're never gonna know, and this is why you always have to believe in it. I'd rather be a person that knows than a believer. Because like I said, believing leaves so many empty spaces, and you just have to kind of convince yourself that everything is correct. Because you don't want to start being like, all this shit that I've been learning, you're telling me that it was all for nothing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, like, these were all lies. And 95%, 98% of the people ain't ready to reprogram themselves. 98% of the people are not ready to admit that they were lying to, and they were living in a foolish way, and they have to reprogram themselves. So, and I get it. And I get it. But I'm glad you made it to the live, Jimmy. I'm glad you made it to the live. You know, you're always throwing me some aspects to be looking at. Well, that's what they say. The devil is the liar. Now, let's just think. In this world, I don't know how old you are, Jimmy, but if you've been on this planet for a while, what was I going to say? What do you think they'd be trying to trick all of us, like tricking the masses to believing that this one particular person is good? Well, God is also known as the light. You understand? This is what I was trying to say. Like, they seem like they're the same person. Even she states it as well too in that video that I played out. She also says, like, Lucifer was the bearer of light, and they're saying that Jesus is the son of light, or the Christ of light. But they're both the light, enlightenment. So that means that they're kind of the same person. So Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's love, but it's who we're giving the love to. I think love is just the main thing. Love always has to be there. It's just who are we loving? Are we loving the right person? That's where the question is. And I'm not saying I'm loving the wrong person. And I'm not saying I'm loving the right person. I'm just saying, like, there is that mix there. Yes, love is the main goal, but are we loving the right thing? Mm-hmm. It's always a good talk, though. I'm glad you showed up, and I'm glad that the people around here are interacting. Because now I'll go back and I'll sit there and think. But again, I don't mind if I'm wrong in this. I just wanted to present this particular thing out there because I'm keep reading and I keep hearing about a major shift happening to 3D to 5D. And if you don't truly know who you are, you might not get squeezed into the 5D, into the higher realms. And I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying that's what I was reading. So I just wanted to share that information because if I am correct, then I wanted to get that information out there to the people. And if I'm not, it's okay. We just had a very interesting conversation. That's what had happened. Thanks to Jimmy. So, yep, very big stories. These fires are happening. And that's another thing too, weirdly enough. They're trying to say that we're in the age of Aquarius, right? So, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Aquarius is the heel. What body part is the Aquarius? So it's the lower leg, the ankle, like by the heel. Now, weirdly enough, they say that we are in the Aquarius time frame and we have all these fires because Aquarius is the heel and heel is hell. And it's almost like we're living in hell because you have all these damn fires all around us. I'll check out the Bible prophecy. Okay. I'll have a look at that. Let's see what you say. You're seeking, but just promise this: you won't assume the Bible isn't true either. Explore everything, including the Bible. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm exploring. I'm trying to come on here. I want to see other people's angles, other people's opinions, or whatnot. Because you got to understand also that Bible has been written over many, many times. So now it's like, how much truth is in it? Because when a book keeps getting rewritten, it's basically the vision of that writer that's putting in there, like their aspect of their vision. You understand? And they're gonna like keep writing it. So I just feel like every time that Bible's rewritten, it's just bended the story just a little bit. And I don't know how many times it's been rewritten, but I'm like, God damn, if whatever was said in the beginning is true, then there's no need to fucking shift anything else. There's no need for you to try to, change the wordings around, or, oh, well, now we think it means this, or now we think it means that. What was said, and keep it like that. Don't try to adjust it to fucking fit the agenda. Lucifer as light bearer was a title. When he fell, he lost that title. Jesus is the light of the world. And scriptures can be cherry-picked in this, but it's not accurate that they were or are the same. Well, I mean, if you don't believe that you're everything, then yeah, you're not going to believe that they are the same person. Mr. E. Kingdom. Okay. Well, he was called the light bearer, just like Jesus, right, was called the light of the world. Okay, they were both the light. Okay. Now, you can sit here and cherry pick now about, well, he was the light of this and it was the light of that. The point is that they're both the light, and the light when it truly means is enlightenment, which is knowledge. All right? So they both were knowledgeable. They both had it. Why were they both knowledgeable? Because they're probably the same person. That's why they're considered both the light. Okay? That's why when you see these shows and you have the devil and the angel, why you think they're sitting on the person? Because they are part of you. That's what I think. You know? I mean, you can sit here also and be like, nah, the world wouldn't be trying to deceive us and making us try to worship the wrong person. Why wouldn't the world be trying to do that? The world isn't even trying to give you the fucking tools that you need from school. They're molding you to be a slave straight from school. None of the shit that you're taught in school, you'll be able to survive in the woods by yourself or become a fucking boss or run a business, okay? Or even do your taxes. You can't even wash your ass or wash your fucking clothes. School doesn't teach you any skills but to be molded into a true working fucking slave, okay? Even the doctors, they go to school for 12 years. You really think the doctors are learning truthful shit? Come on, let's talk about it. You talk about the book, right? The Bible, how it's all supposed to be truthful and all that. But go to those fucking books in those universes and colleges, okay? How many fucking years has cancer been getting donations and they still haven't found a cure? Okay? You think those doctors are going to school for 12 years? You think they're really learning shit? If they are, then why aren't they curing people? The doctors, those guys with the long white jackets, dentists, they're there to make you feel as comfortable as possible so you could be a customer, okay? The white long jackets, who else wears white long jackets or robes? Okay, priests also wear light long robes. Okay, they're there to make you feel as comfortable as possible so you can be a customer, so you could keep coming back. Okay, if I'm a doctor and I tell you how to heal your teeth and your gums, you're not going to need me anymore. So how am I going to pay for my little girl's dancing class? How am I going to pay for my son's fucking senior trip to Europe? How am I going to pay for my wife's car note as well as my Rolex and my Rolls-Royce car note? How am I going to pay for my summer house and my yacht if you don't keep coming back? Now, you can sit there and believe that the people in the white long jackets are there to fully help you. And that's your belief, okay? But if they truly told you how to heal yourself, they won't have any customers anymore. Then that means that they are not getting paid. That means that they're not paying taxes neither. So do you understand the chain of events that have to go down? Okay? We have to believe, just like we believe in God. We have to believe that these doctors are there to help us. Okay? Nobody wants to go to the doctor, get their insurance billed, to be like, these guys are not helping me. So you have to believe that these doctors know what they're doing. Okay? That they were taught in school, that they went for 12 years, and they know how to heal people. No. So, just make an example. That even though doctors went to school for 12 years and read books, doesn't necessarily mean that what they were reading is correct. Because I write something, over 500 million textbooks. Let's just say, excuse my French, but let's just say I had a spotted 24-foot schlong, and I wrote that in over 500 million textbooks. Does it make it true? That I got a 24-foot spotted schlong? No. Doesn't make it true. The only thing is true is that that statement is written in 500 million books. That's the only thing that's truthful about that. So, I'm just saying, the Bible also can be on that type of level. Is it? I don't know. Okay? And this is why we're having this live and having conversations and speaking to one another and shit. Just some things that I feel. And I'm just sharing with you guys. Well, let's see what this here says. It says, yep, the light is the truth, which is enlightenment. 589 is the truth. The reveal that is always has been proton, the building block of matter. And yes, I totally forgot about that. And thank you, Mr. 369 Souls. When you go to church, they'll tell you, believe in the Lord, believe in this, believe in that, believe. But if when you break down the words, there's your lie. There's a lie in there. Be lie. Okay? Be lie. Okay? All right. I'm going to be talking for like a minute, and then I got to cut it off because we're going to lose this live here. So again, you have to believe in Jesus because you don't know if he is there or not. So you have to believe because you don't fully know. You're never going to meet this person. You might say that you had encounters and visions and shit like that, but you're not going to physically have no physical encounter with these people. Maybe enlightenments, maybe a sign or a message or a download. Okay? But that's what they'll tell you. You have to believe, you have to believe, you have to believe. And like my man right here, as you see on the bottom, be lied. That's why when you watch television, they're telling their vision. Tell lie. They're telling lies in their vision, okay? Understand the wording that comes out. Now, you don't have to believe anything I said on here. I'm not trying to make anybody religious or not religious or whatnot. I'm just saying you just need to truly understand who you are and where you are, okay? And what your capabilities of. And once you reach that point, I believe that you'll be able to level up into the 5 dimensions. You know? And I'm not the one to tell you, I'm expressing that I believe that we're all gods, you know what I mean? I don't really believe, I should start saying that I know we're all gods. I know we have it within. I had abilities that I can't even explain here. I had visions also that I can't even explain that comes true. I can hear thoughts in other people's minds, especially my wife's, because she'll look at me and I'll tell her what she's thinking. I'll literally tell her what she's thinking, and she's mind blown like that. And she's like, how do you, I said, I can't explain it. I don't know, but just the way your face expression is, I can tell what you're trying to ask me. So because I had these particular incidents and visions and experiences, I truly know that the God is within me and I am a God. Okay? I can't explain it, but I have visions of a proton and being that I know the proton is going to be the one, and they're going to be working with Ripple. I can't say 1000% for sure here, but all I can say is that's what I see. Okay? And I see proton being heavily used. And this is why I'm big into proton. All right? And I believe that it has the same abilities and powers as XPR and XLM. But why I'm in love with proton is because of the price. Look where the price is, okay? Love purple as well, too. Purple is a great color. All right? Royalty. Okay? But you'll have people truly denying that information about proton XPR. All right? Just because they're not holding it. And they don't want to give any type of big ups or hype to any other coins but what they're holding. All right? Don't you notice that proton is hardly spoken about? Hardly labeled? This is why people have a problem getting into proton, is because they don't hear about it that much. See, See, somebody needs to hear it. They need reinsurance. Okay? That's like with like even with God, like you need reinsurance, you know? Like, oh, I can't do it. Can you please guide me or give me the strength? Know that you are God and you have the strength within you. Stop relying on others. You can if you want, but then what happens when you're asking to get an answer and you don't get that answer in time? Then what? Solve your own problems. Understand that maybe you are God. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just saying what I believe I know. That sounds weird, but yeah. All right. And I think we can do many great things. I just think that we're never taught these things in school. These are things that were hidden from us. Okay. I'm sure everybody watching right now, I'm sure that you walked into a place or you've been somewhere and you just felt the energy was off and you were just like, you know what? I think I got to get out of here. I'm not supposed to be here. I should be leaving. Okay. You have to understand where that power comes from. Okay. That is a God sense. Okay, that is one of your true God senses. All right, is knowing that you are one and you have those abilities to read people's minds, to talk to people from far away. Okay, we have those abilities. We just are not taught to tap into these. On top of that, our bodies have to be super electrified. Okay. This is where, like, you know, probably coming in with meats and stuff like that is probably slowing us down. Having dead foods within us, toxic foods within us, is probably blocking a lot of those abilities. All right. If we had pure electric food, alkaline water running through our vessel, right, that means electricity can flow much better, much faster, more stronger. And wherever we wanted to manifest or whatever we wanted to do, godlike abilities, will be able to do it with much more power without the toxins being blocked. So anyway, this thing is going to cut off, so let me just fucking wrap it up over here anyway. Yep, so XRP, XLM, XDC, metal, just get them all and let the matrix roll. Off to the slave job he goes, and I'm signing off too, because back to my slave job here as well too. Jimmy, thank you for coming and participating. I really appreciate it. Always a great conversation back and forth. I don't judge anybody. I'm just here to share some information. Hopefully it's something that you liked. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And hopefully I was able to give you some type of guidance on the 5 dimension. Maybe you can read up on it and see what you need to do in order to level up to the 5 dimensions, because this world is going to get very crazy very fast. That's all I can say. Bully Bear out. Love you all.